Late night comedian Jimmy Kimmel has apologized to the LGBT community following a tweet that he sent out in response to Sean Hannity. And this was all in the middle of a feud, an ongoing feud between the two that began last week when Kimmel had made a joke about Melania Trump's accent on his own program. Now, again, it all started with a joke about Melania's accent that was made by a comedian on the comedian's late night show. Hannity didn't like it, and his response to Kimmel was rather harsh. But keep in mind, Hannity is not a comedian, and here's what he had to say in response to Kimmel making fun of Melania's accent.
Brutal. Liberal Jimmy Kimmel making fun of the First Lady of the United States and her involvement in the White House Easter egg roll, even her accents. Jimmy, you're a despicable disgrace. Hey, Mr. Kimmel, that's her fifth language. How many do you speak?
So he was outraged by it, and he went on the warpath, digging up old clips of Kimmel in order to attack him as a so-called pervert. We'll get to that in just a second. But I just want to comment on Hannity being incredibly offended at the First Lady getting made fun of or having jokes made about her, because Hannity would never say disparaging things about the First Lady. Or Fox News would never say disparaging things about the First Lady. Oh, wait a minute, Fox News had nonstop negative commentary about Michelle Obama when she was the First Lady. In fact, here was a clip that really stood out to me during the Obama administration. Take a look at what Keith Abloh had to say about Michelle Obama when she was trying to encourage kids to get healthy and be active.
Michelle Obama is so like the Duchess when she speaks about. She is.
By the way, they're not just be eating. She needs to drop a few. I mean, I'm telling you, like, no, let's be honest. No, listen. We're taking nutrition advice from
Are we on a 7-second delay?
We're taking nutrition advice from. I want nutrition advice from.
Michelle Obama. She needs to lose a chunk
Well, no, let's be honest. Like, I mean, there's no French fries happening. That's all kale and carrots. I don't buy it.
Okay, so let's go ahead and attack the First Lady when the First Lady happens to be Michelle Obama and she's trying to help kids get healthy. That's fine. But what about Hannity? Did Hannity ever say anything negative about Michelle Obama? Here's his reaction to a rap video that she put together in an effort to encourage kids to go to college.
But a dream is just a dream and let you go, huh? Einstein put it in time, here's a flow chart. Naturally, it won't happen magically, but you can change fantasy into reality so dramatically. You wanna fight crime, you should go to college. If you wanna write rounds for your head with knowledge. If you wanna stare at grass, don't go to college. But for everything else, you should go to college.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, but when older people try and look like they're hip and cool and young, it just doesn't work for me. Anyway, does this prove to you that the Obamas are completely out of touch?
Later on in his commentary, he made a point about how America is under attack by radical Islam and the First Lady is making rap videos.
So he has also called Michelle Obama bitter and angry, made fun of Michelle Obama's clothes. He also wrote, it's been suggested that one of Obama's voluntary relationships is more revealing of his radicalism, anti-Americanism, and anti-capitalism than all of the others, his choice of marital partner. So he has viciously attacked the First Lady under Obama over and over again. But now when Jimmy Kimmel makes a joke about the First Lady of Trump, he's like, oh, I am so offended. Who would ever be uncivil enough to attack a First Lady? Sean Hannity, as usual, a gargantuan hypocrite, liar, person with bad intent. And you think we don't have access to your own books and to the videos that you have on Fox News? But he does it all the time, and there's two different standards, which unfortunately is exactly the point of this story, as Kimmel begins to back away, and Hannity doesn't have to, because a pig likes mud. And so he's gonna roll and roll and roll around in it.
A pig likes mud and other pigs also like mud. So there are very different standards for people who make these types of comments on the right versus people who make these types of comments on the left, and we'll get to that. Now, Hannity further attacked Kimmel by bringing up old clips from The Man Show, which Kimmel was the co-host of. These are clips from 1999 to 2004, and apparently Hannity had sent out 30 tweets about this between April 6th and April 7th, okay? So let's go to graphic 55. He drew on videos of Kimmel on his earlier show, The Man Show, in which the comedian invited women to feel his crotch. Hannity used the clip to accuse Kimmel of being Harvey Weinstein Jr. He also played one clip where Kimmel asked women on the street to guess what was in his pants and made suggestive comments. Another where Kimmel interviewed women about their feelings on penis size while wearing a protruding object in his pants. So you get the sense of what the show was like, but it was a satirical show. It was meant to poke fun at men's behavior and how ridiculous that behavior could be. It was not done in a serious way to sexually harass women on camera. But nonetheless, it doesn't matter if Kimmel was a comedian, doesn't matter what the context of the show is, doesn't matter if it was satirical. Hannity is gonna go ahead and attack him anyway. Now, fast forward to what Kimmel said in response to all of this that it got him into quite a bit of trouble. He had said something about, don't worry, just keep tweeting, you'll get back on top, or does Trump prefer you on bottom? Either way, keep your chin up, big fella, XO. So the LGBT community, at least some members of the LGBT community felt that that was a homophobic response. And Kimmel was criticized pretty aggressively as a result of that. And following that criticism, Kimmel apologized specifically to the LGBT community and said that he no longer wished to engage in this feud with Hannity because of the vitriol that it's leading to. He said that he did have fun with our back and forth. The level of although he had fun with the back and forth, the level of vitriol from all sides, mine and me included, does nothing good for anyone and in fact is harmful to our country. So there we are.
Okay, lots more on this. So to be fair, Kimmel had also said, when your clown makeup rubs off on Trump's ass, does it make his butt look like a creamsicle? Interesting and perhaps fair question, done in jest, but some people didn't warm to that joke. So, look, it's one thing if the LGBT community says, hey, look, when you're making fun of someone, don't use reference to gay sex to do it because it has a demeaning aspect to it. I think it's a really interesting and fair point to make, and it makes you have a conversation about why do we say things like that? Why do we have phrases that seem to, again, demean people in that community? Okay, but when Sean Hannity pretends to be aggrieved, really, Sean, you're standing up for the LGBT community and that's why you're worried? Really, you're standing up for all first ladies? You're not standing up for any of those people. Who are you kidding? So all you're standing up for is your buddy, Donald Trump. So, so Kimmel backs down, and my guess is that he backed down for a couple of reasons. One is, man, I didn't mean to, get people angry in the LGBT community. They're my friends, and I certainly didn't mean it in any bad way. And I was just trying to have fun with Hannity, who is a really, really bad guy. Another reason might be keeping it real. Executives come and talk to him at ABC and go, hey, listen, we don't want to piss off all of our conservative viewers. It's the one thing when you were talking about your personal experience with your kid, but now you're in a feud with one of the top conservatives in the country, and it might affect advertisers. Now, those are all the pressures that come with both being successful, in the case of Jimmy Kimmel, and being a decent person, where you actually care about other people's feelings. Hannity doesn't have much of those pressures. First of all, Rupert Murdoch made it clear, the owner of Fox News, that he thought it was the wrong idea for executives to back away from Laura Ingraham when advertisers started to peel away, sending a message, I don't care, let our hosts say whatever terrible thing they want to say and back them up. We are not going to back down, okay? So his boss has got his back, so he doesn't have financial pressure. And then in terms of decency, he has no moral core or center. He doesn't care about offending Kimmel or Michelle Obama or gay people or anything else. So he says, oh yeah, I'm gonna come and double down and triple down on tonight's show. And he's going to. And he keeps calling Kimmel a sick, twisted, creepy, perverted weirdo.
Because Kimmel was the public figure who vociferously supported Roy Moore, who was accused of child molestation, right? It was Kimmel who did that, or was it Hannity? No, I'm done. Listen, the part of this story that actually frustrates me the most is the standards of speech that we have on the left versus the standards of speech that they have on the right. On the right, there are no standards. They will lie and do character assassinations in order to destroy those that they disagree with. They will make things up in order to destroy those they disagree with. They will do whatever it takes in order to basically ruin the careers and the lives of their opponents. And by the way, they'll even peddle conspiracy theories against minors who just experienced their classmates and their teachers get gunned down before their very eyes. But then on the left, we're policing what comedians say. We're policing what people can say on college campuses when they're giving speeches. We have ridiculous standards for one another. First of all, let's take a quick look at Kimmel. What is Kimmel's history when it comes to the LGBT community? Has he been terrible to the LGBT community? By the way, is top and bottom only unique to gay sex? Or does that happen in heterosexual sex as well? I mean, I didn't see his response to Hannity as something that was meant to be homophobic. I think intent matters. I think who it's coming from matters. And unfortunately, we're too busy debating about whether or not it makes sense and whether or not it's acceptable to punch a Nazi, as opposed to having a look at the bigger picture and the bigger problem. That's the reason why we keep losing allies on the left. That's the reason why people like Sean Hannity and those on the right are able to successfully determine the narrative of every political discussion that happens in the country right now. So we need to have a real honest discussion about what's worth criticizing, who's worth destroying, and how we can actually move forward in going after the right wing and the destructive rhetoric that they're actually pushing for.
Okay, so a couple of things to back up what you're saying. Chelsea Handler also got in trouble when she tweeted out, Jeff Sessions is definitely a bottom. When asked to apologize, she said no. She said, you know who else is a bottom? I am. So what? And so I have to confess that I kind of like that attitude. As to who started this fight and the vitriol in the first place, look, Jimmy Kimmel made a joke about the first lady. His job is to make jokes. But he made a joke about her accent. My family members have accents. I joke around about their accents. I don't think it's that big a deal at all. Okay, fine, you're a little offended by it, I get it. Hannity's a snowflake. But what did Hannity do? He struck back with calling him a despicable disgrace and, quote, an ass clown. Now the right wing who pretends to care about civility and not cursing, Eric Trump the other day hilariously on TV said he can't believe people are cursing about his dad. His dad curses nonstop. Okay, anyway, he said, he called Kimmel an ass clown, and Kimmel responded with, if I'm an ass clown, you're the whole ass circus. See, that's funny. That's like the creamsicle comment, I'm sorry, it's funny. And that's what his job is, okay? And so, but the right wing that pretends to care about values and morality doesn't care about the terrible things that Sean Hannity says, doesn't care about his cursing. But the minute the left wing strikes back at all, a comedian making a joke, which is what he's supposed to do, making fun of the powerful, because Hannity is connected to the president, it doesn't get any more powerful than that. That's exactly his job title. We on the left go, oh my God, you're not allowed to do that. We have to disarm everything, right? So finally, I loved Kimmel's parting shot here. At the very end of his long statement apologizing to the LGBT community and saying he's going to bring down the rhetoric, he said, I am hopeful that Sean Hannity will learn from this too and continue his newly found advocacy for women, immigrants, and first ladies, and that he will triumph in his heroic battle against sexual harassment and perversion. See, that is also very funny, very right, and we have to be able to distinguish between making an important, although I would say more minor point about saying, hey, let's make sure we criticize these guys in the right way, and monsters on the other side who are okay with Roy Moore sleeping or trying to sleep with 14-year-olds, sexually harassing and assaulting 14-year-olds, 16-year-olds. By the way, Sean Hannity also defending the sexual harassment that Roger Ailes and Bill O'Reilly did on a massive scale, let alone defending the sexual harassment and assault of President Trump. You have to understand, not only the mainstream media, but us on the left, we have to understand those two things are not equal. You just watched the video by the Young Turks, the home of the revolution. If you'd like to get the full show, come join us and become a member. tytnetwork.com/join.